Welcome back to the Professor's Lab. I'm Professor V, and this is another game from Round 3 of our League Challenge that happened at Die Hard Games on August 22nd, 2024. If you didn't know, Die Hard League happens every Thursday at 6 p.m. Central, featuring casual and tournament play at whatever format everyone wants. Stellar Crown pre-releases continue Saturday, September 7th at 1 p.m. Go see more pre-release dates in this video's description. League Challenge, Thursday, September 12th at 6 p.m. and our second special Sun and Moon On format tournament, Thursday, September 19th at 6 p.m. all Central Time, all at Die Hard Games, and check out Pokemon's event locator for premiere and other events at the shop, such as League Challenges, League Cups, pre-releases, and more. Please hit that like button right quick, subscribe to this channel, ring the bell for notifications, say what you need to say in the comments, and all that other good free stuff. But anyways, let's research this game. On the left, Roaring Moon. On the right, Regidrago. Since this was a bonus recording, we didn't get to start at the very beginning, but it looks like our Regidrago player went first, most likely. Got a dragon in the discard, Regidrago in play, a couple Teal Mask Ogre Pawn on the bench, and now they're just hoping that our Roaring Moon player cannot get a turn 1 KO. Looks like the Roaring Moon player then started their first turn, played through a bunch of cards. You see what their board is. Squawkabilly EX in the active, Roaring Moon with a Darkness Energy on it. I'm not sure if that was manually attached or accelerated with something like a Dark Patch, but we'll just do our best to hop into this game here. Action is on Roaring Moon's side. And let's see what they've got next for us. Trekking Shoes to draw a card. They may discard that card and draw one more. We've seen that happen here. And they're just looking for 2 more energy on that bench Roaring Moon. Next is a Nest Ball in order to search the deck for a basic Pokemon to add to the bench. Maybe the single prize Roaring Moon could be found here, but we've already got all the players needed at this point. So just going to fail that Nest Ball here. And pass things over to our Regidrago player, so that Regidrago V survived the turn in order to evolve into a Regidrago V-Star, followed by a Professor's Research, discarding the hand and drawing 7 fresh new cards. Seeing that energy switch go is kind of painful, but you can get a couple cards back with the Legacy Star. Next, the Teal Mask Ogre Pawn uses its Teal Mask ability to accelerate a grass energy to it and draw a card. We're going to see a second Teal Mask come down here, accelerate the energy to the Ogre Pawn, draw a card. And now we need double energy switch and fire energy in order to attack here. The Legacy V-Star is live, and it looks like that's what we're going to go for. That V-Star power ability has the player discard the top 7 cards of the deck, and then they may put 2 cards from the discard pile into their hand. It just depends on what's in hand now. Remember, double energy switch, fire energy is what they're looking for to get an attack here. They might just be 1 piece short. I know there's an energy switch. I know there's a fire energy in the discard pile. So if there's another piece in hand, they've got it. If not, that's why they're struggling with this decision here. Pretty big hand, but I'm guessing not exactly what they need. There might also be lines that I'm not seeing as well, but they're going to end up putting the energy switch and maximum belt from the discard pile into their hand. So maybe just setting up and prepping for the next turn. Pokestop is next, discarding the top 3, and all okay discards. Maybe you don't like to see that second fire energy down, but you definitely want the dragon Pokemon in the discard pile so the Regidrago VMAX can copy their attacks with its Apex Dragon attack. Next is an Ultra Ball for our Regidrago player, discarding a couple cards in order to search the deck for a basic or evolution Pokemon. A backup Regidrago V is found and established onto the bench here. And it looks like more of a setup, continue to set up turn for our Regidrago player. Seeing that Legacy V-Star be used so early for such little effect is not such a great feeling, but you've got to do what you got to do in order to progress the game. As an energy switch is played, moving an energy from a Teal Mask Ogerpon to the benched Regidrago V. So I'm guessing we're not expecting this V-Star to be in the active spot for very long. Next is Earthen Vessel, discarding a boss's orders in order to search the deck for up to 2 basic energy. Grass and Fire will be found here, added to the hand. We can manually attach for turn still, so I'm sure we'll see that happen. Maybe the Fire on the bench, Regidrago, yep. And we're going to equip it with that maximum belt, plus 50 damage to opposing Pokemon EX, and pass over to our Roaring Moon player, who starts things off with a Fire Pokestop. Just draw 3 cards basically there as a, let's see those 3 items, what they were. Gotta love when Pokestop does that for you. So yeah, Dark Patch, Earthen Vessel, and another item card found, Pokegear. Alright, 3 item cards added to the hand there. Thank you, Pokestop. Earthen Vessel is played now, discarding a Squawkabilly EX in order to search the deck for 2 Darkness energy. 2 of them plucked out there and added to the hand. We do have a second energy on that bench, Roaring Moon EX, with a manual attachment, and now we just need 1 accelerated with something like Dark Patch or Professor Sada's Vitality to get this KO here. Roaring Moon EX, of course, has the Frenzied Gouging attack for 3 energy. Knock out your opponent's active Pokemon. Put 200 damage on the Roaring Moon EX. 20 damage counters. Our player is checking out their hand, massive hand in their discard pile, trying to weigh the options and decide what's best next. This Pokegear 3.0 is the answer. Looking at the top 7 cards, looking for a supporter card to add to hand, but 0 were found there, so the rest of the cards just get shuffled back into the deck. And we're hunting for that Professor Sada's, it seems. Again, we have a manual attachment, and we need 1 more energy to fully power up that Roaring Moon EX to be accelerated onto it. There we go. Dark Patch. Accelerate Darkness energy to bench Darkness Pokemon. Next is Radiant Greninja's concealed cards. Discard an energy. Draw 2. Energy manually attached. Oh my gosh, to that Roaring Moon. Another Dark Patch being played to start powering up another Roaring Moon on the bench. And let's go for this Pokemon Catcher. Pokemon Catcher, flip a coin. If heads, it acts like a boss's orders on an item. Looks like it was tails, so blank card. But they immediately follow up with another Pokemon Catcher. This one's the lucky one. Heads, bringing up that Regidrago V on the bench that has the maximum belt and a couple energy on it. That is definitely a bigger threat than the active with 0 energy on it. So bring that up with the Pokemon Catcher. I think we're going to see Petron EX come in now, using its Subjugating Chains ability. Once during your turn, you may switch 1 of your bench Darkness Pokemon, except Petron EX, with your active Pokemon. If you do, the new active is now poisoned. Okay, that's why we've seen that Roaring Moon move into the active spot and be poisoned. Poison, of course, has you take 1 damage counter in between turns. Small price to pay for this KO here. And actually, Roaring Moon's going to get the KO with its Calamity Storm attack. Second attack for 3 energy. 120 if you discard a Stadium in play. That's why we've seen that Pokestop get discarded, as well as that Regidrago V knockout. Teal Mask Ogerpon moves into the active spot and play resumes on its side. Teal Dance accelerates an energy to it, and a card is drawn. Another Teal Dance coming down here to accelerate more energy and draw another card. Now the Roaring Moon EX is weak against grass, so a grass energy is mainly attached to that active Teal Mask Ogerpon EX, and an Iono is played, having both players shuffle their hands, put them at the bottom of their deck, and then draw cards from the top equal to their remaining prize cards. Disrupting the Roaring Moon player a little bit here, and most likely getting this KO with Myriad Leaf Shower. For 3 grass energy, Teal Mask Ogerpon can do 30 plus. This attack does 30 more damage for each energy attached to both active Pokemon. I'm sure with weakness that maths up to enough for a KO. But we'll let our players do their thing here as an Ultra Ball is played here, discarding a Regidrago V and a Dragapult EX to search the deck for a Kyurem. So our Regidrago player is advancing this board state. They did disrupt their opponent with Iono and will be taking a KO, so they're doing about as best they can during their turn here to respond. The only problem is you're attacking with something with less than 220 HP, so another Roaring Moon can take a KO with its Calamity Storm versus having to use Frenzied Gouging and damage itself heavily. But, like I said earlier, you gotta do what you gotta do. Super Rod is played now to shuffle back from the discard pile into the deck 3 energy, 2 grass and a fire, I believe. Reloading the deck for future use here. 4 prize cards on the left, 6 on the right. Any other cards to play before Myriad Leaf Shower? No, Myriad Leaf Shower for weakness, KO. Even on prize cards here, 4 to 4, as Radiant Greninja moves into the active spot and play resumes over on its side. Pokestop put into play. Trekking Shoes played now to draw a card. Are we going to discard it or keep it? We're going to keep it. Next is Concealed Cards, discard an energy, draw 2. And Professor Sada's Vitality coming down here. That supporter has you accelerate a energy to 2 of your ancient Pokemon in play. Or just better yet, how about I read Professor Sada's Vitality, choose up the 2 of your ancient Pokemon and attach a basic energy card from your discard pile to each of them. If you attach any energy this way, draw 3 cards. So we're seeing Professor Sada's resolve here. As long as we have an energy attachment, there is a KO this turn. Next is Pokestop. Just discarding 3 cards this time. Most importantly, discarding that Professor Sada's Vitality, but those can get gotten back with something like a Pal Pad later. Rescue Stretcher being played now to put back into the hand from the discard pile a Darkness Energy that gets attached to the bench. Powered up Roaring Moon EX, fully powering it up, should I say. Next is Pecharunt's Subjugating Chains ability to move that Roaring Moon into the active spot, poisoning it. Roaring Moon then uses its Calamity Storm attack, discarding the stadium, doing 220 damage to the 210 opposing Pokemon, taking the KO on it. Last 2 prize cards for our Roaring Moon player to take, but let's see what our Regidrago player has to say about that, as an energy is accelerated to the active with Teal Dance. Card is drawn. As long as there's another grass energy, there is a KO on board. Not before an Ultra Ball is played, discarding a couple cards in order to search the deck for a Raging Bolt EX. The nice art. So yeah, I guess that's kind of what our Regidrago players got going on here, is they can get a KO and then they just pray that the Roaring Moon player cannot take their last 2 prize cards on their next turn. Next is Professor's Research to discard the hand and draw 7 fresh new cards. We're looking for at least a grass energy. Grass energy is found and attached to the active, so the KO is on board with that Myriad Leaf Shower and Roaring Moon's grass weakness. So we're just going to go for it. Myriad Shower and Pray. Very close game we've got here. Radiant Greninja moves to the active. Pokestop. Put right back into play. It's like they play 4 of them or something. Trekking Shoes is next, discarding a Petrant EX and keeping that second card. Nest Ball is played now, just probably to look at the deck, maybe to thin it out a little bit more. As our players looking at their deck, checking what resources they got, and a Petrant, or excuse me, Pheasantipity EX is found with that Nest Ball and put onto the bench. With its Flip the Script ability, if your opponent took a KO on their last turn, you can draw 3 cards with Flip the Script. It's live, and it can be used to piece together the game-winning combo here. Let's see if our Roaring Moon player can do it. Another Trekking Shoes, draw a card, keep that Darkness Energy attached to the bench Roaring Moon EX. Next, Professor Sada's Vitality accelerates an energy onto that Roaring Moon. 3 cards can be drawn, but the players seem to know what's going to happen here. The Petrant EX, Subjugating Chains, move that fully powered up Roaring Moon into the active spot. Roaring Moon takes the KO and the last 2 prizes of the game. What do you think of this video in the commentary? Please leave feedback in the comments. Like this video, subscribe to this channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time in the Professor's Lab.